Hi, we're the British Wedding Film Festival, and we put this thing together to celebrate and elevate the wedding filmmaking industry.
Submit your wedding film to one or more of our many different categories, each one celebrating all the different aspects of wedding filmmaking. Just choose the category that you feel best represents your work. There's no limit on how many films you can enter or categories, and the entries close on the 1st of December.
Your films will be evaluated by a panel of industry experts, including filmmakers, producers, and other professionals. The panel is diverse with individuals from varied cultural, geographic, and creative philosophies.
On the 9th of February 2026, we'll gather at the Manchester Art Gallery to celebrate the best in wedding filmmaking. An evening of stories, creativity, and community. And we'll screen the best films, announce this year's winners live on stage.
Entries close on the 1st of December, and tickets for the event are available now. Go to BritishWeddingFilmFestival.com.
Jason.
Danny.
How are we doing, buddy?
Feeling good.
Good.
My kiddo was sleeping 12 hours a night. Decided last night. After telling you were so surprised when you found out he was sleeping through the night. And yeah, last night decided to hear that conversation and think, you know what? I've had it too good.
I've got to admit, right, it's probably my fault because when you said that you're how old is he?
4 months.
4-month-old. Listen, see if you've got kids out there, right? Listen to this that I had to listen to last night. I said, he's like, just so much on, and it's just, it's I've just got loads and loads of stuff to do. I'm just struggling to get it done. And I'm like, it's because of I was like, do you know what that'll be? Like, very, very confident. And I was like, he's like, what? And I'm like, it's the sleep deprivation. And then he's like, what do you mean? So he then proceeds to tell me that he isn't suffering from sleep deprivation because his 4-month-old sleeps for 12 hours a night. And I was just looking at him, wanting to punch him, considering that all 3 of my children hated sleep. And only now is Brody 15 months old is he actually sleeping for 12 hours, and it doesn't happen every night. So do you know what I done? See, after we finished, I made a wee spell and I cast it upon AJ to wreak havoc in the night. I'm glad it worked.
Yeah, thank you for that.
You're welcome. Listen.
I'm getting the true life of parenting now.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Good. You need the full experience. You need the full experience. But yeah, no, it's tough, not getting sleep for one night.
Yeah, it's...
I don't even want to hear from you anymore. I'm done. I'm done. Don't want to hear from you. I'm finished talking about it. Anyway, well, in other news, my office got finished.
Okay. That's good. Looks nice.
I'm buzzing with it.
Yeah.
I'm buzzing with it. It looks really good. Kirsty has done like 90% of the work for it, but yeah, it looks so good. It looks so good.
I saw a little snapshot of it last night, and it looks... I'm very envious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just and you had all your equipment out, and it was looking flash.
I've got all my cameras, my babies, they're all sitting there, all my Lumix cameras, all 6 of them.
It was like a full-on Lumix store.
Yeah, I know. And you know what's funny as well, because I had all the batteries out, and I was like, I just brought them all out just to see how many I've got. And I think I said I've got like 36 batteries.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's bad. But I mean, I do go through quite a lot of batteries in a day.
I mean, I do as well, but I mean, 12 is sufficient.
You need backups. Backups. But anyway, yeah, no, I'm excited about it. Just like properly getting stuck in, because I think for so long I've been in that space, and it's been a bit of a shit tip, like just because it's been a dumping ground for everything. So now it's like it's a nice space to work in. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a creative space to work in.
Yeah.
But speaking of creative,
there it is.
He always wonders how I'm going to segue into the guest. We have an incredible guest on the podcast with us today, none other than Riccardo Fasoli from Kreativ Wedding Films. And very excited to have you on the pod today, Riccardo. I know a lot of people have been wanting you on our podcast for quite some time. One person in particular, Rob from Blackfern Media, he's very excited to hear from you. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, guys, thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the invitation. I'm happy to be again on the podcast. So long time, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah, when Danny obviously was saying about the segue, at the beginning there, I was just sitting quietly because he said he knew how he was going to introduce you, and I normally miss it completely. And so I'm just sitting there going, what does he want to talk about now? I'm not going to change the subject so he can get onto it. And you weren't getting to it, and I'm like, just do it. Like, so I was just on edge waiting for the introduction.
But did you like it? It was smooth.
It was good. I just wish you got there sooner, man. I left me hanging for so long.
Just waiting. When's it gonna happen?
I thought when you said something about, I cast a spell, I was like, and we've got the magic videographer Riccardo here. I'm like, no, not that.
No, false start. But yeah, Riccardo, for those of our listeners who maybe don't know who you are, could you give a little bit of background about who you are and your business, how long you've been doing it, what you're all about?
Okay, yes. About weddings, so me and my wife, we started the Kreativ Wedding in 2012, so it's quite a long time now. And we started almost for playing and without because at the beginning I was selling glasses for frame glasses. And coming from Italy, because I'm Italian and I moved to Germany and nobody wanted to buy in Germany my glasses, so I was without any job. My wife, she was already doing photos. And I had fun to make some videos like fun, and to a wedding of friends, we were suggested to make it as a job. So we tried, and it worked.
Yeah.
So it worked, and we are doing wedding photo and film since 2013.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it was a long way.
Yeah. I was always wondering, like, how, because I knew it was a team of you together. I knew, obviously, you and your
Yes.
wife were together and you've expanded on that team. But I wondered if it was something that you had both been going independently and then you'd join forces on that. But yeah, it's good. So she started first and you saw the light. You saw that weddings were out there and they could be good fun to take part in. But why did you not go down the photo route instead of the video? What was the reason that you wanted to get into video?
No, the thing is that she was doing photo for other stuff, so some model photos and some other stuff. The weddings, it wasn't something where she was looking to work, but it was something where we both become curious to look for, and it. Yes, and I was doing video and it was something fun, but at the beginning it wasn't something so commercial. The photo, it was the must. And so I was trying also to make photos, but I remember that I couldn't sleep in the night before the wedding because I had to make photos, and it was something that it made me so nervous to do photos, and video for me, it was much more fun and easy to do. So
yeah, I guess.
I took the way for videos, and she stayed on the photo. And after, slowly we become a team. Comes Valerie inside 1 year after, and after the team, it becomes bigger. Now we are in 6 people, and yes.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like building a team, obviously you've managed to kind of go. Like start it with yourselves. Why did you feel the need to bring like a full-time team, whereas other people might just hire in a second shooter or an associate shooter here? Why was the need for you to build a team?
At the beginning, let's say that it was the wish to get more weddings. Because at the beginning we were really at zero. We didn't know how to get weddings, and suddenly when we started, we were we were the first company in Germany that they were offering photo and film, and we get a lot of requests. Really a lot of requests. And so we said how we can get a little bit more weddings to a little bit make our portfolio a little bit bigger. And so we, Valerie, she asked us to join the team, and she was fantastic because it was the same. The beautiful things about our team that we have all the same kind of mentality and way to be on the wedding day, and so this is work for us. But and like this, we started to make the team.
Yeah. I think imagine being the first to offer like photo video. It seems really common.
Yeah.
Or actually, is it that common?
I don't. Well, in the UK, I don't think it's as common anymore. I think because I think we've had other guests on. I think was it not like CJ Hughes and stuff like that was part of. They were like one big team. Rue was part of one big team, but then they branched off. Probably just to do with like tax rules and stuff like that. Probably I think that was the main reason. But yeah, it's we were actually talking about it when we watched one of your films. Was the Scottish elopement film that you shot? And if anybody hasn't watched that, go and have a watch of it. It's a great advert for Scotland. It's raining, but was that back in 2016?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, because we were watching it thinking, wow,
It's so ahead of its time.
You were so ahead of, the game, I guess, in terms of just how it was edited and how it was shot for because there was, if I look at some of the films that were shot in 2016, they weren't to that standard. A lot of them.
No.
There would have been some, but not some of the ones that I've looked at. You were very ahead of the curve when it came to, I guess, that creative flair. So yeah, tell us a little bit about that one, the Scottish one.
Yeah, that is normally when I'm talking about that, it's because when I started to do wedding films, so the idea really to do these wedding videos. Every time it was something in my idea that it should looks like a film, because I had really nice cameras at that time. It was the 5D Mark II or I don't know what, and it was already a camera that deliver image that it looks already like a film. And my goal it was every time to make something that it should looks like a film. And when I arrived to shoot that wedding, the elopement in Scotland, that it was actually a disaster because it was raining the whole day. I came back at home, but I had nothing. I had really nothing. And with the editing, with a little bit of sound design, a little bit of tricky the story and to make it a little bit interesting, it became a bomb, this video. So everybody saw that film, and I got popularity with that film, and I started to see that kind of interest of people to make something cinematic in an easy way, in somehow. And that was also a moment where I started to, in somehow, teaching what I was doing. And with the process of that, so when I was trying to explaining how I was doing, I saw a lot of people doing the same things. And I was a little bit, so in this moment when I'm doing my talk in some places, I'm saying that is not the right way to shoot weddings. That is not the way that a wedding should be shoot.
Yeah.
Because it's in that moment I was really focusing to make something that it looks cinematic, that it looks cool. And in the same time, my ego became bigger because I was doing something really cinematic, really cool, but I was going out from the place for what a wedding it is. And that was a circle that bring me to a place where I am now. If you watch my films now, you feel a lot more the wedding. You feel much more the event. What is the event than the cinematic stuff? Yes, probably there's still that kind of way to put the things together, but I wanted to go out from that things where you see only the videographer and not the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
That's really interesting, because a lot of people would see that elopement and think, okay, we need to get these really cool transition shots, these really, like different. But actually, it was through the fact that you had limited options that you had to kind of dress it up in a way that actually did seem fast. I mean, in a way, I started my brand because I made a lot of mistakes and I needed to edit faster to hide the mistakes, and that's how my brand kind of started. But I don't think I ever this is something that you say to me often. Danny will say to me, I could never film a wedding for you because of how it looks. But it's actually not filmed that way. It's edited that way. And that's the thing. I think the core, as a wedding videographer, you do have to remember you are there to capture a day, and you can let your creativity dress that up in any way you can, but don't ever shoot for the edit. Shoot to capture the day and let your creativity dress the edit up in a way that can be entertaining. So yeah, that's insightful.
Yeah, I think your point there about obviously just like try to capture the wedding and stuff. I think one thing that really rings true when you watch your films, I said this to Jason after we were watching some of them, and I went, I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but then I was like, it feels like the viewer is at the wedding, the way that it's shot. I felt like I was there. And obviously a lot of that is maybe to do with like the shots that you use and the camera movement and stuff, but it feels like you're just one of the guests at that wedding, rather than just someone there capturing it as like the videographer. Like it feels like you're involved, you're in the, because it kind of feels as well almost like you have like this all access pass to the full wedding with the way that it's shot. And I guess I'm assuming obviously that's all intentional in terms of like your kind of like creative style. But how did you go about
preparing?
Preparing, I guess, to go in and shoot the wedding like that. Like, what does your preparation look like? Not only from your preparation of like the shots that you want to capture, but like also prepping the couple as well, almost. Does that make sense?
Yeah. The thing is that every time when comes this kind of question, a lot of time the people they are thinking about, as you say, what kind of shoot that you feel that they're inside and somehow, but that has nothing to do with the camera or the way how I'm watching the picture. Mm-hmm. It's more the attitude from how you are there in the wedding. So that is something what I see a lot of time on other videographers, is that kind of concentration of get a really nice shot, then to be there as a watcher. So not someone who care about the image, but care about the feeling that you are getting with watching that things. Mm-hmm. If you see my films, they are really shaky. Sometimes there are some good shots, but the most of the time it's really let's say that I'm looking for something. I'm there and looking for the scene. It's the attitude, how you are there, and your kind of energy that you give to the people that surround you, that makes me shoot something that is authentic and that looks that gives some emotion, than to be there and only to be a camera. I don't want to be a camera. I want to be someone who is there with my energy of feeling in somehow humble and grateful to be in a place where I shouldn't be, because that place it isn't mine. It isn't something that belongs to me. The event it's something that has to do with the family and the people that they know. It's everything a kind of energy that it doesn't belong to you. You are someone that comes from outside, and you don't belong into that place. And if you put these things into your mind and you act like someone that is grateful that you have the possibility to watch this stuff and to be there, I think that this comes also into the footage that you are capturing.
Yeah, because it felt like, I feel with a lot of videographers, you sometimes feel like you're on the outside looking in because everything is so perfect and pristine, and you're not necessarily as intimate. Yes, you can get a couple shoot where you are up close and stuff, but when you're watching guests interact with each other, it's usually you standing away watching that scene happen. Whereas when we were watching your films, it really felt like you were someone who was invited to that wedding. You were involved in all of their interactions. It just felt closer.
Yeah, because I think there was a couple of films where you have guests interacting with you and the camera, but in a comfortable manner. Does that make sense? Like they were being chatty to you. I think it was, and then I think you had something more like blow you a kiss and stuff like that as well. Like, so you've got that. You're in there, which I think a lot of videographers probably struggle with.
Yeah, yeah. I think what would you say to someone who watches your films and wants that kind of intimacy that they're not getting from their films? What would you? I think a lot of people probably are looking for that perfect shot, but what advice would you give to someone who is trying to let that guard down?
I think that they should forget about the camera. I think that the people, they should forget that they are shooting something, that they are doing a video, or they are capturing stuff. I think that the first things that they should put in mind is what kind of energy I'm giving to this moment, how I'm there, how I'm there with the people. I am curious to have an interaction with these people. I'm curious to be there. I'm grateful to be there. So when you are there as a person that in somehow wants to belong to think about that you are going in a place without a camera that doesn't belong to you, that you're going in a bar, in a restaurant, or I don't know where, and you don't know no one, but you want in somehow to be part. You start to interact with the people in that kind of curiosity, and that you want to be part of this reality. You are not there, okay, I'm shooting the man eating, I'm shooting the girl speaking. I want to be part of this moment. I want to be there. So when you are there and thinking and have this kind of energy, the people feel comfortable. For example, I hate when somebody is want to make a shooting of me, because I feel judged. I feel that somebody is watching me. Someone is. I'm thinking about how I look in the camera. So I feel that kind of feeling that somebody wants to shoot me. But when I feel the person that is curious and make me feel comfortable, and I feel, yes, comfortable, safe, and not judged, everything it becomes more authentic. And this is, you can see, I think that a lot of time when I see fantastic wedding films, I already know what kind of person there is behind the camera, because it's the person that makes the difference, not the camera, not the editing, but it's the person that is shooting that makes the difference.
Have you seen Lumix have just announced another new camera, the S12?
Well, you know I have.
This camera is chock full of features that wedding videographers like you are going to love, including 5.1K open gate at 50 frames a second for the first time.
Incredible slow-mo footage at 100 frames a second in 4K.
Best in class image stabilization.
And also a new and improved hybrid phase detect autofocus.
You can get your hands on this camera by loaning it for up to 48 hours. Just visit the Lumix store.
And if you do decide that this is the camera for you, remember to use code TWVP at the Lumix store for 10% off. That's right, 10% off this brand new camera that we believe is the perfect camera for wedding filmmakers. Like, you know, I mean, I've seen it firsthand because recently I got It's like a little digital. It's not a Super 8 camera, but it kind of looks like one, and it records a really lower quality video file. And it was funny because I used it at a wedding for the first time last week, and I already had this idea in my head that I was going to give it to the bridesmaids. They would shoot the morning prep with it, maybe shoot later on in the day. Because I started shooting with it, and you get the normal kind of reactions, and people were like, "Oh, is that a Super 8 camera?" And there was all that chat. But then giving the camera to the bridesmaids, the interactions that the bridesmaid gets from her friends, the other bridesmaids, the bride, even the makeup artists, it was a different, because it was a different person holding it, and there was that familiarity. And it's captured some really good stuff.
Yeah, I don't not to cling on to this subject, but like, when you are at a wedding, and you can obviously interact with someone when you're maybe not recording, but when you do need to record, how do you then switch that off? Or are you still like engaging with people as you're holding the camera, and you're kind of maybe you're holding the camera, just looking around the room as you're talking? Like, there has to be a point where you do turn into a videographer at that point. Does that make sense?
Yes. The thing is that I use my camera really easily. And this is something what I suggest every time to people when they are doing wedding film, to use the camera that they can easily use. So not something that they have to think where is the button, or what I have to press, or what I have to turn, because your energy is going there, not to what happened. But when I'm filming, my energy, it's every time there. It's not on the camera. And this is it's when you are familiar with the equipment that you are using. So I think that the people, when they start to shoot a wedding, that shoot a wedding with their iPhones, because they don't think about the camera. They press record and they shoot, and they will get much more beautiful footage than someone who is there with a red Epic or I don't know what.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to use, and in a wedding day, you have to come out from the place that you are shooting a movie, because they are two completely different worlds. They have nothing to do with the image, but they are two completely different worlds.
Yeah.
And to capture really beautiful weddings, it means that you are capturing something authentic, something real, something important for these people. And I know that today there are a lot of weddings and couples that they are sometimes you feel that they are doing the event for the beautiful picture or the beautiful videos. But the real weddings, so the weddings that I really love, it's where the people, they are doing the event, for having that things, for living that moment, that kind of day where you have. It's the only day on your life that you have all the most important people that belong to your life all together. I remember my wedding day, and I want people that that enjoy the wedding day as we enjoyed the wedding day.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think there's definitely weddings that are more about the detail than they are about the people.
Well, it's the Insta wedding, isn't it?
Yeah.
That it gets called. It's the Instagram wedding.
But you're walking into a better environment when it's about the people. When it's about the people they don't necessarily sweat the small stuff. They don't care that candles aren't straight. Well,
your one was a prime example. Jason, we had the storm here recently. And you were at a wedding, weren't you? And there was no power. The band didn't turn up.
Yeah.
But you said it was such a great day. They had an amazing time.
I mean, they could have easily been upset that there was no lighting for the ceremony, or that maybe they weren't going to eat that day. I mean, that might have been an issue. But they ended, like, they hired a band, like a guitar duo to do the song for them coming down the ceremony. They stayed for the drinks reception and did a cappella singing. So everyone in the wedding was singing along. When a generator did arrive, there was like a Mexican wave to salute the generator arriving. It was a great day, and it was about the people.
Yeah.
That's what I love about weddings. So that's it. You're in for an easier job when it is like that. I think I think we had a question to you about preparing couples for this kind of level of access that you seem to have to them. But I think from what your answer's saying is that that's just who you are on a day regardless. And it's not that they don't have a choice, but you make it so comfortable that happens.
Right. It's I think that every time when a wedding videographer, also a photographer, so they are both in the same place as present on the wedding day, they should learn much more the philosophy and the psychology that happened in that moment, and you're present to be there, more than to understanding how to use the camera. I think that really that to use the camera, it's something so not important at all. It's something that comes with the time, with the wish to get much more better imagery, but it's much more the way how you are there that makes the film or the photos authentic.
Yeah. Oh, no, and your films are definitely authentic and immersive, you know, and that is something that you and the team have nailed perfectly. I guess speaking about the team, so you obviously you mentioned how you first started off shooting, I guess, with your wife, and now you've expanded the team out. Did I hear you say there's 6 people now in the team, including yourselves?
Yeah, 6.
6. Okay.
6 people.
So talk to us a little bit about that. How does that work? Is that like all? I'm assuming maybe all 6 of you aren't out at the same wedding, or are you?
No. We have
multiple weddings.
The main it's me, my wife, Valerie, and Marco. So that we are the main photographer and videographer. Then there's Annika, that she is a photographer that she learned in the last 4 years. So now she is also a photographer, but she cares about all the emails and a little bit also the TikTok stuff and this. And then we have Anna, that she is new. It's only a couple of years, and she started to learn, and she's doing a lot of second shooting. But so as video, it's only me and Marco that we are doing the video, and then we have the girls that we are doing the photos. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
This are the team.
We actually made a comment saying like how. We wondered how it would be like, obviously, like shooting like as you're with your wife, obviously, like being there, how easier I guess that would be from like a shooting perspective, because you're not having to like figure out the photographer on the day, so you can just be like, right, I need to go over here, do you know, and she'll be like, right, go, and it's fine. You might get a row later if you do something really bad, but we thought that must be, it'd be like cool just being able to like have a business set up where, you know, you're working together as well. I'm sure it'll have its challenges sometimes, but I think it'd be really nice, wholesome that you get to do that, you know, experience that all together.
I find it really important. So we really believe in these things of the team as photo and video, that we are working together, because each one of us, we know, okay, she needs that kind of shot, maybe I should move, he needs that shot, maybe I can be hide or something like this. So there's kind of this respect on the work, and we know, and the kind of energy that we have, it's all the same, because we worked with so my wife worked with our videographers, or I worked with our photographers. It happens because our team is moving right and left, but it's sometimes it becomes a little bit difficult, because when you are, for example, I'm shooting a video with another photographer that has a completely different way to be there.
Yeah.
It comes also in my footage. So it's a different kind of approach, and I have a different kind of footage, because it's not the same energy. It's not the same way how you are there, and what kind of footage you want to bring at home. Yeah. And we feel it. For this reason also we believe in the team, and we work also with photographers and videographers that has our kind of way to be there, and it's everything fine. But time to time it happens when we are in events where there's another kind of energy.
Yeah,
you feel it.
I wasn't sure if you solely just worked as a team and you encouraged couples to book the team, or if you did photo only or video only. But
no. We do a lot of photo, and because the photos, it's still today it's still the master. And a lot of time for budget or for wish, but the people they are booking really fast the photos, and sometimes the video it comes after.
Yeah.
So it happens. It happens time to time that we are in different events. So.
Yeah, I think everyone has the issue when they are working with a different type of supplier that has a completely different style for them, that they have to adjust slightly. I mean, you could go like gung-ho and make sure your style is being caught, but most of the time that's just going to cause conflict.
But just think how easy is not the right word, but like it would be so great to just walk in and know that your styles are just going to complement each other, and there's not going to be this, okay, I need to figure this guy out, or I need to figure this girl out, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like I know I'm going to have to try and adjust my style because the two of you are walking in because you've got your styles so finely tuned together. It's just and from that you will make sure that you get amazing footage and amazing photographs because you're so you're a well-oiled machine, I guess.
Still delivering your wedding films by USB?
Ew.
We use VidFlow, the sleekest platform for delivering your wedding films. It makes your couples feel like they've got their own private Netflix.
Plus, with their white labeling service, you can customize everything from the branding to the custom domain so you can make it super personal.
Want to wow your clients? Use the code TWVP10 to get 10% off all pro plans, including white labeling service.
Head on over to vidflow.co today and level up your wedding film delivery experience.
Let's talk about backlog.
Woo!
Editing piles up fast and is overwhelming.
That's why we use brideandgroom.video, a wedding editing company that delivers stunning wedding films faster without compromising on quality.
If you're looking for an editor that's going to match your unique style so it feels like you've made them, you've found them.
Use code TWVP75 at checkout to get £75 off your first order and try out their service.
Clear your backlog and grow your business. Try brideandgroom.video today.
Hasta la vista, backlog.
Yeah, whenever I have a second shooter, I think you're different to me, but I always go for the safety and allow my second to go for the creative shots. So if there's like a key moment, I'm always getting the second to like find something different, find something that, and I will bank the safe shot. But you do it the other way, and I guess
I do it the right way.
Well, the other way, maybe. I'll do something creative in the edit, but I want to bank the shot.
Nah, but I know, but I think that shot's the easy shot to get. So like theoretically, anybody could get that shot. So you then try and get something a bit more out there.
That's true.
Yeah, me and Riccardo are on the same page.
Would you agree with that? Do you think?
I don't know. We are yes. It's more like that, but it's a mix. So we. It depends what kind of shot we are looking for. For example, I know what he's good to, and he knows what I'm good to. Yeah. So we try to talk about.
There's some instances where I will give it up, like that one where I asked you to get the shot of the bride coming down the aisle, but like passing all the guests and stuff, because I'll be at the front. Yeah. Because I want to capture her coming down.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
you
there's
wouldn't give that up. That's what I'm talking about.
There's certain times where I'll give
there
it
you
up.
go.
There's certain times.
Well, like the key moments. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, not always key moments.
I say what, Danny. Next time you have a second shooter, you stand in the side of the aisle and let your second shooter get that most important shot of the day.
At least if I'd done that, I wouldn't be on the side of the father of the bride instead of the bride.
Yeah, there you
go. Sorry, we were just having a tiff. Let's talk about gear, and we're not going to talk about it for very long, I don't feel, but I'm curious. So what is your setup? Is it would you describe it as minimalist?
It's every time depend of the event. So it depend of the wedding. When it's difficult. I can't say that I'm bringing every time the same stuff.
Okay.
Maybe I have every time the same camera, but I don't have every time the same lenses.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I bring the gimbal. Sometimes I don't bring the gimbal. Sometimes I make everything on the monopod. Sometimes I'm doing the wedding full with the camera in the hand.
I think those are the shots that I'm really curious about. I think when you are handheld and you're in those intimate moments, I wanted to see how you were, what your kit was for that, because obviously you are about keeping things simple. So I assumed that you were maybe just on a prime lens, just handheld, just kind of nipping about everyone. So maybe not so much for the ceremony spaces, because obviously there's different spaces for that. But when you are in the morning and you're kind of being intimate with everyone, like what's the kind of the setup for that?
I love the 50 millimeter. The 50 millimeter, I'm using Sony, and I really love the 50 1.2 or the 55 1.8. These are the two lenses that I really like, and I really love the kind of distance that gives me. So sometimes I say that I would love the 24 for a lot of stuff, but I feel that I would be a little bit too much invadent and too much present with that kind of lens. This year I had the 2870. That is a beautiful lens. Also, if it missing a little bit of character that I would love to have, but if I have to choose one lens for the whole day, I would stay with the 50 millimeter. It gives me a lot of the right distance that I feel with the people. So
I recently actually just got the so I shoot Lumix, and I got the Sigma 50 1.2 lens, and it's beautiful. Like, it's so just the drop off and stuff like that you get from it. It's just it's my go-to lens, and I now find that I end up shooting the majority of the day on the 50 just because I love it so much. But yeah, I think when we were watching your films, we assumed that it was more, or just with obviously with how it was shot, that you were maybe kind of like on one lens for the majority of the day, and then obviously you would change. Did you say you used the 85 as well? The 85 millimeter?
I love the 85. Yeah. I really love, but I find it so it depends again from the wedding. I had one wedding last year, the first wedding of last year, that I shoot completely on the only 85. Oh. But every time it depends of the wedding. That in that wedding, I let's say that I didn't felt so near with the people, so I was a little bit one step back.
Okay.
And so I had that kind of approach of shooting everything with the, let's say, more comfortable, I feel, more wild lens I would use. But if I'm thinking about the feeling in general, the 50 millimeter is the place where I mostly feel really comfortable. But the 85, I really love the lens, but sometimes I feel I have also the 35 150 that I really like sometimes to use, but I feel that the image, it becomes a little bit too much paparazzi somehow. But the 85, it's let's say that it's really easy to get really nice footage with the 85, but not that intimate. I can't. So I prefer to go a little bit more near.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to analyze your friends. Like, I like you enough to use a 35 mil today. maybe a 24 mil. I like you enough that much, but no. For most videographers, they'll be thinking, yeah, we're going to be 135 today.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's.
Do you know in the party, for example, you feel that the people, they forget completely that you are there because you are dancing with them, and there I have the 20 millimeter most of the time. So think about that.
Yeah. It's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, you need that 20 or 24 mil for the dance floor, don't you?
Yeah, for sure.
One thing that we noticed, obviously, certainly in some of the films that were on your website, was and we kind of touched on it earlier, but like the transitions that you're doing between shots, some of them are like pretty cool. A lot of kind of like, you know, you've got like the wipe transition where it just, you know, goes over to another clip, and we wondered like how much thought process or intention goes into those. Are you thinking about those transitions when you're shooting at all, or is this purely just when you get into the editing suite and you're like, oh, that would work quite well for that?
Let's say that it was born because of mistake, and it was cool, and sometimes you hold it because of that, but there's not so much thought about that. So I shoot really a lot on the wedding day, so I have a lot of material, and so there's a lot of crap also. So it's something that, but in sometimes you can use it to make something.
Yeah, I sometimes see a transition that has the most random things in it. Like I think there was a transition in your film that had like a road post, a bush, a waterfall. And like putting those three things together doesn't sound like it would work.
Yeah, come on.
But it worked.
Yeah, come on. This is something really. I think that it's something old. I'm not doing anymore this kind of things. It was the time of the Watch Over to Kai. I don't know if you saw from D'Alessandri, but it was a kind of feeling that. Everyone was inspired to get this kind of crazy transition, and I was one of them, and so I played also. I played also with this kind of transition a lot.
I mean, we noticed it wasn't maybe so much in the kind of newer stuff, but certainly in the older stuff. It was quite interesting to see, and like we said, like some of the transitions were like, wow, that was like very impressive.
I think when we are watching your films, the one thing that is key to it is the storytelling that happens throughout it. And obviously we don't know what the vows are going to be like. We don't know what the speeches are going to be like. Firstly, do you, like when you are when you've been booked and couples have a consultation with you, are you sort of encouraging vows? Are you just allowing them to have the day on themselves? Or what, are you doing anything to sort of improve the audio that you get in your films?
So to get more audio, to get more speeches, I do nothing. So I say nothing. I say nothing to the couple. So I'm asking if there are some speeches. The most of the time there are speeches, or they are changing vows. And for sure you see a lot of time films that I'm sharing more with this kind, because for me it was much more easy to create a film that is engaging. But it doesn't mean that all the weddings that I'm doing, they have all these speeches and vows. But I'm not asking. I'm more happy if they are. Because it makes the life easier and somehow to create a film. Sometimes not. Sometimes you have some speeches that they are without end, and you find nothing useful for the film. But
so for the films that have a lot of audio to use, because I know we all have these weddings. I think everyone seems to think that every wedding from someone that they like is just always going to be perfect. But sometimes we do get no audio. But for the weddings that do have a choice of audio, do you have a set way on building that story? Are you wanting to introduce the couple first? Are you wanting to introduce the party first? Like how it seemed like your films were starting with a lot of energy, kind of told the story and then finished with a lot of energy. Is that something that you just like to do, or is that depending on the wedding?
It's really so. For example, now I'm editing one film, and I have to make a teaser and a feature film. So one or 2 minute teaser and a 10-15 minutes film, and we have a fantastic, beautiful, emotional first look with the father. And the father, he was doing an amazing emotional speech, and I was trying to creating something that is the key moment, that first look with the father, with the speech on the teaser. But I see that I couldn't make a teaser that it's focusing only on that moment. Also, if you see that minutes of footage, you cry because it's so beautiful. But it's something that I have to hold for the film, and I have to make a teaser that maybe it's somewhere this moment, and in the film it will be built with that moment, because I was really touched with that moment as a key moment. So I have to make that moment really important, and I have to find the way how to arrive to that moment in a way that it will press your stomach in somehow, that you feel there. So every time it's depend what kind of moment I find in my kind of sensibility, the key moment of the wedding, and I want that moment make it more important, and from there I try to connect the rest to make that moment a little bit more important. I don't know if I get a sense of what I said, but
yeah.
it works like this for me. So
I think whenever
it start for one moment.
I think whenever anyone asks a question about storytelling, it can always be like, okay, how do I answer this accurately? Because every wedding is different. But I think it's, lots of people think about what the events of a wedding day in different ways. I shot a wedding with a friend 2 months ago, and he showed me the feature film, or he showed me the highlight film, and it was great. But I would have done it differently, and I gave him the points of view of where you had this sort of storyline going and how you could have done it that way. Then he said, "I'll pay you to do it." I was like, "I'm not going to do it." But it's I think it's just funny how we all have different ways of telling stories, and I just always like to pick the brain of people who are good at telling stories and how they do that. But I get that you find one moment that really connects with you and build to that, and you'll find yourself watching it, knowing that the person telling the story has connected the dots to make that the most impactful it can be. So, yeah, that's interesting.
Sometimes this moment they are a little bit more, I don't know how to say, a little bit more muted or a little bit more normal. And then the kind of way how I create a film, it's a little bit in a standard way where you look for someone speaking about the bride, someone speaking about the groom, someone speaking about where we are here, and then you create something in a classical way. So the classical way is really someone who talk about where you are, someone talk about the bride, someone talk about the groom, someone talk about them together, the vows, and some funny moments to go to the party. That is the classical. Then you have the possibility to make them more important or more easy or more deep or in somehow. But at the end, that is the timeline.
Yeah. I for a long time, I think I stuck to that structure of, okay, what we're doing here, that structure you basically just said, and you realize that the timeline doesn't allow for all that information to go in. You can't accurately tell a story with the amount of time you've got in the film. So
5 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes like that. But I will extend it to like 10 minutes sometimes. But it's sometimes you just need to pick something, pick a moment that actually meant. I think I'll look at it like that.
Yeah. Summit's happening.
That's right. Summit's happening March 31st, 2026. That Wedding Videographer Summit is back.
We are back and we cannot wait to bring you all to Glasgow on the 31st of March 2026 to come and see the likes of
Justin Porter Media,
the Linskys
Becky Kinross from Films About Love,
and Ben Journey from the Make Better Wedding Films podcast. If you were at our summit last year, you know it was an absolute blast. We had so much fun. We had speaker talks. We had industry pros helping people out with their businesses.
We had Lumix there giving you hands-on experience with their new set of cameras.
We had prizes, so many prizes.
So if you want to join us at That Wedding Videographer Summit 2026, all you have to do is go to our website, twvp.co.uk/summit, and buy your ticket now.
We can't wait to see you there. We're going to have so much fun. On the business side of things, so how many weddings do you guys, or do you shoot a year? Roughly?
I did 15 this year,
15.
video. 15 last year, also circa 17. So this year it was, for me it was the best year as number of weddings. But circa the team is doing that kind of number. The photos were a little bit more, like 20, 25 weddings. This
Nice.
kind of numbers we have.
And where is it you get the majority of your inquiries from? Is it through the likes of like Instagram or
Planners or...
planners?
Yeah,
or-
actually asked Anne, my wife, too, about that because I have no idea. But I think that the most were coming from Instagram. Yes.
Yeah,
The
Instagram.
most are coming Instagram. We have a couple of wedding planners that we work really good together. But the most were coming from Instagram, I think. Yeah.
And like the inquiry process, obviously they go onto your website. You can, I know that you say on your website you can arrange to meet for a coffee, you can do Zoom and stuff. Like let's have a date is how you guys like to call it on your website, which is pretty cool. So they go. How does that work for you then? Is it a case that they get a brochure from that point, or do you go into a Zoom call and then you kind of discuss the package options with them, or so talk us through the inquiry process.
It's I think quite classical. So the people they write us in the contact form that is quite long and there's a lot of things to write. So that I think that it's not only name and date. We ask a little bit more stuff, and then we send our price list, our brochure. That is a referral, but you can understand a little bit where is our price range, and after that we plan a Zoom call. That is really important for us to have the kind of human connection and to understand if the energy is good. And after that we send a proposal with the price.
I think something that isn't that common, especially in the UK, is on the inquiry form to ask a lot of questions. I think it's not that we just ask for the name, but we do maybe just ask for their story. But do you know some of the questions that you might ask the couple that kind of gives you a better idea as to if they're going to be the right fit for you?
We like to understand if there's a focus on we like to understand in how they write if there's a focus on the event, not on the photos or the videos. So we like that they focus on the event, that I want that the couple they are enjoying a lot of the event. That it should be it's something that we are trying to reading through the lines. If the people they are creating the events for the events, not for the photos.
Just on the packages that you do offer, is there do you have like one set film that you create, or do you have options for longer films or shorter films? Like, what is it that you can offer people?
Yeah, we have the teaser, we have the highlights film that is 5-6 minutes, we have the feature film that is the one hardest to do, but the one that I love more to give. So I find that is the most beautiful experience also for us. That kind of 10, 15, 20 minutes of film, it's the one that I like more to watch about my wedding day. And then we have a documentary edit with the full speeches, full ceremony, or I have only the speeches or only the ceremony, or the raw footage. I have everything. So there's a lot of stuff that you can book.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I think people are always debating what to include in their packages. I feel like I'm forever changing all the time. I'm not sure how long it'll be until I change next.
Probably a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks until I decide to change a couple of things next. But
I don't really change much. I just put the price up.
That could work.
One question, and it's our final question, that we always like to ask our guests, just to make people a little bit more human, and that knowing that people that are at the top of their game also make mistakes, as you have alluded to earlier on. But would you be able to tell us about a time when you've maybe made a mistake at a wedding? We call it a balls up, that was maybe quite bad, but obviously looking back on it now, you can kind of like laugh about it, or there's the learning from it.
Yes, I asked also to my wife about this, if I have something to tell. And actually there was one wedding at the beginning in 2014, and it was one wedding that I was caring about because of some changing, so they changed the date or something like this. It was a 2 hours civil wedding. To go to take photos, and I was care about all the organization, and it was 2 hours from driving from us, and I was ready to drive at 2, and I get the call that where we are.
Oh man!
And so I was 2 hours too late for that event. Yeah.
Oh, it's a thing we have nightmares about.
Yes. It was not nice at all. So it was it was a civil wedding, so it wasn't the big wedding. It was really a small one. We did a shooting with them. It was everything fine. But
we need to get married right now. Where are you?
That kind of call, and it was horrible.
It's so stressful because I can feel your heart sinking for you.
Yeah.
Because I remember once.
I tried to think.
Yeah. I remember once. Was that a couple of years ago? Maybe 2 years ago, and I opted to take the photographer from the venue to the church. And I put the church sat-nav in, and we pull up, and it's like the church is all boarded up, and there's like, the cones are out and stuff like that. And I'm like, they can't be getting married here, surely. What's going on? And the sat-nav had taken me to a complete wrong church. Now, granted, it was like, I think it was like a 20-minute, but we basically arrived with just enough time. We had to just run in, get the tripod set up, and it was so stressful.
I had the same also.
Honestly.
It was also 15 minutes different. We arrived to the church and it was empty, no one. Oh God. And it was a mistake for the bride. The bride, she sent us the wrong address, the wrong church.
Oh,
so that was fine. But right there with our bags and everything, and there's no one here, no flowers, nothing.
Well, the problem. My God. The problem was though that it was basically the same name for the church, but like within 20 minutes of each other. And obviously, I just clicked the top one and just went boom.
Maybe that was the old church and they've moved.
I don't know. But they need to knock it down.
Yeah,
it's causing problems.
On the subject of getting a phone call like to say you're going to be late, if there's a Saturday and I'm not working and I get a mobile number calling me, that it's usually spam.
Oh God!
But the fear, the fear that comes, I'm like, if I answer this and
we say
someone's
every
waiting for
time.
me to be a wedding, like, always have your gear charged, ready to go, folks. That's what to do.
I done that because
That's true. That's true.
there's a photographer I'll give a call sometimes, like or quite often when I'm on my way to the wedding, so we're good friends. Vic, Victoria Photography. And I just phoned her once, I think it was a Saturday, just to have a chat with her. And she went, I'm not supposed to be with you today, am I? That was the first thing that she said. And I was like, no, I'm just phoning for a phone call, it's fine. She said, oh, thank God.
Psych.
And part of me wanted to go, yeah, are you not here yet? But I could tell the fear in her voice. I was like, I can't do it to her.
The thing is that now we are smiling about that, but I remember that wedding when I arrived 2 hours later. I said, okay, I go back to sell glasses. It's finished. Kreativ Wedding is done.
Yeah.
It's dead. It's finished. There's nothing more.
But this is it though, and it's just like you learn from your mistakes, you move on, and I'm sure that situation will not happen to you again, and it's and that's the whole point, I guess, about like us getting people to like share these experiences, just so that people know, okay, it's not just me that these things happen to, it does happen to everybody else. Because I think it's quite easy to just look at other people's work who are absolutely smashing it and killing it and think that they've got it all figured out, mistakes don't happen to them. And it's just like, if you're not making mistakes, you're kind of not really doing it right, because I still make mistakes at every other wedding. Obviously nothing catastrophic, but there's mistakes that happen and you go, oh, crap, right, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of, I think that's one of the things that's so great about this job, is because you always feel like you're learning. Even after you've been doing it however many years, like something will come up and you're like, right, okay, that can't happen again. But it's good, it keeps it interesting.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Nice one. Well, Riccardo, thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with us today. It's been it's been awesome just getting to hear about your story and the way that you shoot films. And I think there's a lot to unpack for our listeners that we'll get a lot out of it. And Rob, hope you've got a lot out of this one as well, because he'll be excited to hear from you. For everybody out there, would you be able to let us know where, if they wanted to ping you a message or ask you a question, where to find you?
So we are Kreativ Wedding.
Instagram username.
What to say. Yeah, Kreativ Wedding. Kreativ in German, wedding in English, and
So it's
there. Everything is there.
Kreativ with a K and no E at the end. Yeah, so
exactly.
Yeah, Kreativ Wedding.
Try to think that the name was born because I couldn't speak German, and we are living in Germany, so we wanted something that has one thing in German and one thing in English, so that I could also talk with the people that were calling us.
I actually didn't know that's what creative was in German. I just thought it was a cool way to say creative.
All right, no, it's German.
It's German. It's German.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Riccardo. It has been great chatting to you. But that is all that we have time for this week. Thanks for tuning in. I've been Danny.
I've been Jace.
I've been Riccardo.
I'll see you next week.